Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Monday, the first, no, not the first, the 2nd of June is here. And today, we are doing something different. Yes, we're gonna talk about transfers a tiny little bit because I know I promise you there will be no transfers, but there will be a tiny bit. Genuinely a tiny bit because we're gonna talk about Sesko and Gyökeres. Besides that, we gonna do some cooking. Now, first things first, I'm not a generational cook, right? Because I haven't done this before, so we are starting our way from ground up. But we gonna look at some top Gooner comments and in general comments what I have received on YouTube, on Shorts, on TikTok, and we gonna look at them and we gonna dissect them and potentially cook some people. So if you're excited for that, smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new around here. We are 4 subs away from 600. You have been fantastic in subbing and liking and doing all that stuff. So today, let's aim for 20 likes and to hit 600 subscriber mark, because after that 1k is on the way, of course. But yeah, and of course leave your thoughts down in the live chat. And if you're spamming some weird stuff, I'm gonna time you out. I'm telling you that right now, Marlon, because I don't want to see genuinely full chat just of one player and some weird stuff going on there. Just putting it out already there. But overall, yeah, today, as I said, we're gonna look a tiny bit on transfers, aka on Sesko and Gyökeres, and after that we are gonna look through some comments on Twitter, not Twitter, on YouTube and all that stuff. So big up Marlon, hope you're doing well. Big up Hyper, hope you're doing well today as well, my man. Hope you're feeling great today and everything. So we're gonna look at all that, and as I said, we're gonna kick things off. First 10 minutes or so we're gonna talk about transfers, and basically this is what came out today. Arsenal are working towards confirming the frameworks of both, seriously, both Viktor Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko, on both, before deciding which to proceed with. Price is the key, and while Sesko has near universal backing at the club, Gyökeres is more economical. Like, genuinely, we have a chance to sign either basically a cheap one or an expensive one. That's what they're saying. And we actually are looking at some weird stuff happening here. Either we're gonna get Sesko, who everyone loves in the hierarchy apparently, or we're gonna get Gyökeres because, well, he's the cheap option. And this is very weird because, I'm not gonna lie, in ideal scenario, we would sign both, right? We would sign both in ideal scenario, right? I'm gonna put it out there, but we are not. I don't see that happening. However, think about this. How long we, as Arsenal fans, have been saying, we don't want cheap signings, we don't want some random players, we want expensive, big signings that actually lift the club to another level. Well, we have been saying that for the longest time. We want our Rodrigos, we want our big players, right? Now when we look at things, the way this has at least been presented, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like they're trying to do reverse psychology on this. Well, you wanted an expensive player, well, you're gonna get Sesko. You don't want cheap players, so we are not gonna go for Gyökeres. That's how it feels like now, genuinely. Because for the longest time, as I said, we've been talking about the stuff that we want more expensive players and everything. We want some proven players, and we don't want the cheap, because if you buy cheap, you buy twice, as they say, of course. And yeah, we are in that bracket right now. Either we buy Sesko, which is expensive, or we buy Gyökeres, who is cheaper. It's weird. It's genuinely weird. As I said, in ideal scenario, we would sign both. Who I want? Everyone knows I want Gyökeres. If we get Sesko, well, let's see where that brings us. Yeah, 10 gig fiber, ole, exactly. We will cook, exactly, we will cook. But it doesn't stop there, because according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal and RB Leipzig began talks around 1 week ago already. About a week ago, and all this stuff, you know. Arsenal are interested in Benjamin Sesko is actually very, very serious, apparently. And this is a very weird situation, given the fact that we are doing negotiations with both. Now, at the same time, this is something we want to see. Let's be real, because we want our option A and option B, and if one falls through, we can get the other one. There have been also reports that Andrea Berta loves to do transfer business in a way that he at the same time but works on 2-3 targets. So just in case one falls flat, he can get instantly another one. If it's not option B, he can get option A. If it's not option A, he can get option B. If it's not B, he can get C instantly, without hesitation, which is actually quite nice to see, which should indicate that we could get business done very, very, very quickly, of course. At the same time, how long is this gonna take? Because I genuinely don't want to sit here whole goddamn summer until preseason kicks off, or even past that, and say, well, Arsenal are dealing with Sesko. Arsenal are still interested in Gyökeres. I want these deals being done ASAP, before the preseason kicks off. Because if we have another summer where we sit here and for a month, if not longer, talk about who we gonna get, I genuinely could lose my marbles. I'm not gonna lie, we genuinely could lose my marbles. Big Sesko outside the box got that, so well, we'll see about that one. We are not allowed to shoot from outside the box. We all know Mikel Arteta's policy. Big up Bargov, big up. Do you think this gets done before the 10th? It's 8 days, right? 10th is in 8 days before the transfer window shuts closed, at least the first part, right? If we are a serious club, we would get it done. If we are a serious club, we would get it done. I've seen on Twitter today lots of Arsenal fans, including the toppest of top Gooners like Igal, say, well, this early window is specifically for the teams who are in Club World Cup so they can do their business early and prepare for that and all this stuff. But come on, man. If you are a serious club, or you want to be a serious club, you should be doing the business quickly and everything. Man United are not in any cups anymore, and they have signed Mateusz Cunha already, for example. Like, what are we doing here? Seriously. Now, obviously, Liverpool, they are in there. They're trying to sign Wirtz. First big has been rejected of £107 million and all this stuff. They are signing Frimpong, looks like Gyökeres and all this stuff. At the same time, like, seriously, what's the holdup? Because we've been linked for Sesko legitimately for 365 days, 1 year. See, like, no arguments about that and everything. So if you want him so badly, go sign him. Like, what else can you say? What else can you say? Like, seriously. Man United, Chelsea have made 4 or 5 transfers already. Arsenal, we are really interested. Exactly. Because whilst other teams are doing their business, we are linked FC, interested, eyeing, on fire, keeping close tabs and all this stuff. We are never proactive, we are reactive. And the worst part is, which is one of the biggest issues for me as an Arsenal fan, which is giving me massive PTSD of all of this, is the fact that the longer these guys stay on market, the bigger are the chances Arsenal are gonna get the shorthand of this. Because Gyökeres is linked with still United, there's some vague links with Liverpool, there are some interest from Napoli, there is some interest from other Serie A teams. On top of that, Sesko as well, United are interested, there is someone else is interested from Premier League, I forgot who, and also other teams are interested despite everything. Like, it's actually kind of nuts. Buemo is joining. Big up TK, by the way. Big up TK. Have you made your channel and you're making videos? Because if you are still not, you kind of are slacking on this, you know? No Money United, by the way. Exactly. Arsenal made 300 million from Premier League and UCL combined, and they have done nothing yet. Ornstein Bomber. Really? No way. Where is David Bornstein? Yeah. Exclusive. Buemo decides he wants to join Man United. Now expected open talks with Brentford in bid to sign the 25-year-old forward this summer. Likes of Arsenal, Newcastle and Spurs are all interested, but Cameroon International favors Old Trafford if a deal is agreed. Holy crap. Seriously, holy crap. Only reason you go to United at this stage, well, there is none, let's be real. But either it's the money or the fact that he's gonna be a guaranteed starter. there are two options. Because for Newcastle, Mbeumo would be ideal to replace the right wing side. In Arsenal, he could play left wing, because let's be real, at right wing he's not going to get any game time. And Spurs, well, that's a hit and miss. They still haven't decided on a manager, the next one after Postecoglou and everything, so it is all up in the air. But man, United, the team that has no money whatsoever, apparently. They don't have any deals, they have no sponsorships, they are sacking their staff and everything. If they don't get in Champions League this season, they have to pay 10 million fine to Adidas or Nike or whoever is doing, they have the sponsorships with. Yeah, they are doing business. He will cook us, Man United will have a good level attack, he'll now stop that. Exact, big issue. What the hell, no. We are cooked, Robo. God help us worse if Liverpool gets Wirtz. Like, Liverpool are gonna get Wirtz, I think. I genuinely believe they're gonna get Wirtz. Just the question is how much they're gonna pay for him. What will happen with Ahmad? Now, does Amorim play 3-4-3 or something like that? Isn't like Ahmad sometimes playing right wing back when they have right wing on the side? I can see that happening. Mbeumo could play on the left wing instead of Garnaches, who is about to leave, most likely to Napoli. So they have options, technically. They generally have options. Mbeumo probably likes the 3 at the back system also, doesn't have to learn a new system. Exactly. Because Frank is playing that way. And also, what's its face? Ruben Amorim is playing that way, so definitely would fit in that system. Man, take the goddamn transfer right now before like close the window right now, you know. Get Viktor Gyökeres. I know. Get Viktor Gyökeres at this. Oh yeah, by the way, Man City are getting Ain't Nori. They're gonna play narrow with overlapping wingbacks. Are like something Arteta is not about to do. But yeah, we are doing with both. We are dealing with both, with Gyökeres and Sesko. And I think they will decide. They will agree personal terms. They will be close in agreement in pay, what they have to pay for the player. And then they will decide something like that. I kind of think they're going to move in this type of business way. I kind of get the feeling. Because in ideal scenario, we would sign both, as I said. But I don't see us signing both. I'm just going to put it out there. I think we're going to sign just one. Right now, don't play games, Bert. Get the Mafia if you haven't. Exactly. The transfer window is only open for a week. No, it's not weird. Sorry, closed for a week. It's not weird because it is open before Club World Cup. Teams can get players. It closes during the Club World Cup, and almost a week after, once the Club World Cup ends, it instantly reopens again. I think it's generally just being catered to the Club World Cup. And the team that wins Club World Cup gets 100 million as well, by the way. So it's a substantial amount of money for about 7 games or 8 games you have to play in that tournament, which genuinely is actually nothing. At the same time, well, it is what it is. So yeah, Viktor Gyökeres or Benjamin Sesko. But no, I thought that transfer window opens June 17th again. Exactly. It closes when the Club World Cup begins and opens once the Club World Cup ends. Please get Gyökeres. We need to win the Prem right now. Sesko is for the future. Exactly. In ideal scenario, we sign Gyökeres and Sesko, and they are both attacking. We play 2 up top, or we rotate them quite heavily, and everything would be done. Here we thought Berto was to do business. Same outcome, different director. Well, it's the same dictator, by the way. Different director, same dictator. In that regard. Club World Cup. When does it end? Oh, it ends in July. So why does it close for only 1 week? Sorry, it ends July 13th. So why is it closed for 1 week? It makes no sense then. I was led to believe that it was for 1 week only. So why does it then go for? It makes no sense. It genuinely makes no sense. What the hell is that about? We can't make those punks. Chelsea get Sesko though. Well, they might. Chelsea, they're going. I heard Sesko is better in low blocks. Yeah, he is. In that regard, yeah, Sesko is better in low blocks. I have seen it, and I kind of can vouch for that. I'm not gonna lie. Yet Sporting average 60% and 60% percentage, and RB play counter-attack with average 52 possession. Funny, huh? Exactly. If we played counter-attacking football, either of them would be fine. I'm not gonna lie. Either of them, I think, would be very good. Obviously, Gyökeres would be more clinical, but they both could utilize their strengths to maximum ability. But we don't play that way. And in low blocks, I genuinely believe that Sesko has a bit better dribbling abilities and hold-up play in tight spaces compared to Gyökeres. At the same time, Gyökeres is better overall as Sesko at the moment. Even the Zubi PR has completely died down. It's as if Zubi doesn't exist, yeah. Where are the visa? Where is the medicals and everything? Where is all that? Why aren't Arsenal not interested in Rodrigo anymore? Rodrigo wants to stay at Real Madrid apparently. He's not moving. Apparently. That's according to the latest reports. Go figure. 4-4-2 with Sesko and... Arteta is never playing 2 up top, is he? Arteta is never doing that. In ideal scenario, he would try something like that. Or 4-4-1-1, 4-1-2-1-2 wide diamond, 4-1-2-1-2 diamond in general. 4-2-3-1 even. Or 4-2-2-2 or something like that. He would do it, but he's not. 3-5-2, 3-4-3. Pick your formation with 2 strikers. Is there any truth to the claim he will be world class in... There's... You know, saying he's gonna be world class in 3 years, that's like saying I'm gonna be a billionaire in 3 years. I might have the idea, the ambition and everything. Whether it's gonna happen or not, it's a complete different story. Like, there are too many factors involved to say that in 3 years he can be world class. It includes team, manager, coach, all this stuff, and that even injuries and everything. You never know. There's 30 days, relax. Who said everything has to be done in a week? Well, to be honest, it should be. Does the summer window end this Friday? It should. Let's be real. Imagine how nuts would be the transfer market if it was only open for a month, for example. 1 month. You know how quickly the deals would be done. So quickly, it's actually kind of nuts. Sesko's been world class outside the goal. Arsenal will never sign the best players, always cheaping out. If Arsenal are always cheaping out, then sign Gyökeres, because Gyökeres is the cheaper option of the two. That is the ironic part in this, because we've been screaming to sign the expensive, better players, but in this regard, you could argue that Gyökeres at the moment is better and he's cheaper. In future, potentially, yes, the big price tag could actually pay off regarding Sesko, but you never know. Heard we are linked with João Pedro. Oh, bloody hell. Stop this ceiling rubbish. Next 2 years, Foden went from PFA to nowhere. Well, Kobe Maino, you're not guaranteed anything with... Exactly, you are not guaranteed anything. You never know what's going to happen in 2-3 years. You genuinely never know. Players also, they hit their peak in very different times. Some hit their prime genuinely in first 5 years of their career. Between ages of 19 till 24, 25. Some are middle bloomers, right? From 25 to 30. And then you have your Jamie Vardys and other players like that who genuinely bloom once they hit 30 or something like that. Then they take off only. You never know. So what's going to happen with Havertz back in the midfield? No, 4-3-3 Havertz in the midfield or something like that. I don't know where Havertz is going to play once that happens. Because there are still rumors circling around that Havertz is still going to start. This is the nuts part and everything. Do it on Havertz play right... Havertz right mid. So, what? I heard reports about Luis Skelly linked to Real Madrid. Nah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Skelly is bound to sign a new deal at Arsenal. He's not moving. He's not moving. Not too worried about that one. Havertz can go play with his donkey. Oh my days. The disrespect, you know. Anyways. Enough about transfers, because this jibba jabba, we're gonna get into it tomorrow. Today we are here to look at some comments. Comments I get on daily basis, I get on quite a bit on occasions. Today, yesterday, for over all this time. 30 pounds, I doubt he hits the bench. Well, you never know. Big up Nabongo, big up. Well, what if Arsenal sign Gyökeres and Sesko? That would be the ideal scenario. We sign both, but we are not signing both. Unfortunately, that is the reality. I don't see us signing both strikers as long as Havertz and Jesus both are here. We need to get both of them out of the way. Then we can start talking about this, unfortunately. Mbappe projection was crazy at 16. Yeah, exactly. He's never been the best player in the world at any point, and he's top class ceiling crap and reliable. To some extent true. There's no denying that he has potential, but sometimes it feels like he doesn't want to put in the work. Obviously, scoring a hat-trick in World Cup final, that is something very unique. He scores goals left, right, and center if he's used properly as well. At the same time, given the hype Mbappe got, given the potential and everything, there is much, much more left to be desired from Kylian Mbappe in all ways, shapes, and forms. Let's be real. In that regard. Anyhow, it's time. It's time to do some comments, some cooking, and all this stuff. Here we go. You might see your own comments, by the way, here. You actually might see some of your own comments. Let's look what people are saying about, well, basically what I'm saying, basically. Let's look at it that way. There are going to be comments on shorts, on streams, and on videos. This is all on YouTube. Well, someone's saying Mikel Arteta, Arsenal and Arteta get out. There is an argument, basically, this comment specifically, right? Chelsea spent 2 billion in 2 seasons. This is what I said when Arsenal have spent 750 million and have won nothing. Chelsea have spent 2 billion in 2 seasons. Actually, they have won something, as ironic as it sounds, by the way. But hey, it is what it is in that regard. So that's not the worst one. Let's be real. The truth hurts the delusional Arsenal fans, and it's true. As soon as you start dropping facts and certain situations where basically it doesn't fit their narrative specifically, or how they want to see things, or how they want to do things, right? It instantly goes sour. Instantly goalposts get moved. They start to insult you. They think you're toxic, you're negative. Because apparently supporting people always means agreeing with them. But let's be real, it doesn't, does it? Even in families. Sometimes you need some tough love. Sometimes you need someone who tells you the truth. Who tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear at the end of the day. And these top Gooners cannot take it. That is the biggest thing. These top Gooners cannot take it. Arteta will never sell Havertz before his contract ends. That's admitting failure. Basically, yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is. Anyways, big up Eros. He has commented as well. Makes too much sense, but we have proper 11 at this club, basically with having not enough depth in the bench and everything. He bought too many average players for a lot of money, like Havertz, Calafiori, Merino, Vieira, Zinchenko, Jesus. And to be honest, that is the truth. We have had actually money to spend on our hands. We just haven't spent it properly. We have wasted it. Genuinely wasted it on these players. Only player I could agree upon that got very unlucky, but obviously Mikel Arteta screwed him over big time, is Gabriel Jesus. Because actually I'm a big fan of Gabriel Jesus. Before he got injured, it looked like we could have something special happening here. But then he gets injured in Brazil, then he needs a surgery, Arteta rushes him back, he needs another surgery, he comes back, then meshes up his other knee, another surgery, and he's done. Let's be real, he is done. Genuinely, he is done. Oh, here we go, here's some more juicy stuff. This is about a short, where is it? I lost it. This is about a short about the same one. Here it is. Serious question. I posed this question in the comments. Serious question. How do we still not have a reliable starting 11 and bench after all the money we have spent? After 750 million we have blown, arguably, in these transfer windows, how do we not have actually proper squad still? And we still hear from top Gooners all the time, oh, he still needs his own players. Oh, but the bench is too short. Oh, but the bench is too weak. Well, who's at fault of that? Obviously, it's Mikel Arteta at the end of the day. And then someone said, Man City spent 200 million in January alone. What happened? You would think Pep would cover Rodriguez. I don't know who is Rodriguez, because Rodri's name is not Rodriguez, if you didn't know. In January, instead he went for a striker, as if he spent 200 million only on the striker. It's like people choose what they want to hear and want to read. This is an Arsenal fan who's commenting this, by the way. If it had been Arteta, we won't rest again. Ozil lover. He called me an Ozil lover. I used to love Ozil, I'm not gonna lie. At the same time, Pep in that summer, in that January window, signed Marmoush, Kusanov, some youngster, Brazilian, and he signed, by the way, Nico Gonzalez from Porto to cover Rodri, you dumbass. And after these signings, Man City's record was actually pretty damn nice since January. They lost only 4 games. Only 4 games from the remaining, whatever the games were, about 18 games they had to play or something like that. They lost only 4. And that's why they finished only genuinely few points behind us. They didn't finish miles behind us. They finished only few points behind us. If this season was dragging on for a few more games, they would have overtaken us. Think about it that way. Seriously, think about it that way. Like, and I said this, who is Rodriguez? If you mean Rodri, he signed Nico Gonzalez. So he bought the cover for him. And instantly, see, no reply. 1 day ago, I answered him 2 hours later. Still haven't heard back from him. Instantly went into the hiding as soon as I said that he signed a backup for him. Instantly. Didn't take too long for him to go in the hiding. 100%. We talked about Gyökeres. Someone said he's going to United, if anywhere. Then this is about Thierry Henry. And this is where we need to wake up. This is what people said about Thierry Henry. I put out a short and also a TikTok where I said that Thierry Henry slammed Arsenal and Arteta for the fact that he has won nothing, spent all this money. You would think he at least win some cups, and he hasn't. I said that Henry spoke utter and total facts on this. This is what I got in replies. He and Wenger said top 4 was a trophy, so he can shut up. So Henry can do no wrong. Which king? King of Monaco? You sicken me as well. By the way, this comment is from the same guy who talked about, where is it? Who talked about the Rodrigo replacement and everything. Like, people have apparently no understanding. Because how can you disagree with utter facts? Like serious facts, when facts get dropped in front of you, in your face, straight up forward. How can you not accept them? Like, they turn the blind eye to everything. As long as they can move their goalposts in the favor of what they want to push around. At the end of the day. Let's be real. These top Gooners are a unique bunch. Let's just put it that way. So Mendy finished his medical. Where has it been reported? Where has it been reported? But yeah, these top Gooners are a unique bunch. They don't take facts from anyone. Because actually, when you are so far in your beliefs and your imaginary scenarios, how things should happen, could happen, and everything, right? It's like you're in school, you see the most beautiful girl in your class, and you're afraid to ask her out, and you imagine how you would do it, what could happen, and all these positive scenarios. First things first. This is what top Gooners are. At the end of the day, they think about, oh, imagine Arteta wins this, we carry him in our arms, and all this jazz, right? And then when you say, well, it's not gonna happen, she's already dating someone else, they instantly, but they can break up, this can happen, everything can happen. And it feels like these sub-Gooners, when Henry speaks, when Petit speaks, Lehmann speaks, all legends of Arsenal who have won stuff and everything, they think they haven't seen it happen. That's what it feels like. I guess for me, for example, as an older Arsenal fan, that's what it feels like. I feel old in this Arsenal fan base. I'm gonna be 32 this year, only. I've been an Arsenal fan for 23 years, right? And I already feel like I'm one of the oldest persons in the Arsenal fan base. Because when I speak about Henry, when I speak about these guys, instantly, oh, but what they have done for Arsenal, it feels like nobody has heard about them. I guess for me, I have seen how we win league with Henry, with Bergkamp, Petit, Sol Campbell, Patrick Vieira, all these guys. And when I speak about them, when they speak, It feels like those guys think that they are nobodies. They have achieved nothing in life. Because as soon as Henry criticizes Arsenal on Arteta, instantly they turn to his coaching career. Because before coaching, Henry apparently was a nobody. He didn't exist. Not all great players make great coaches, let's be real. Not all of them. You could argue that most of the great coaches are actually midfielders. Most of the time, if you think about it, more often than not, when you look at things, right? But hey, it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. But how these top Gooners genuinely disrespect all these things they say, it's actually nuts. I swear they have never seen Henry. They have never seen Bergkamp. That goal against Newcastle, oh my days, and everything. Like, they haven't educated themselves in terms of Arsenal history. You'll be lucky if they know what year Arsenal were founded in general. That would be nuts if they knew that. Whoa, slow down, Granddad. Hey, yo, don't drag your 50-year-old ass here and call me old, you know? Anyways, moving on. We are not... this is about Gyökeres, another positive Arsenal... Not Arsenal fan, this is a different club fan. Oh no, Arsenal fan. We are not getting him. Arteta wants Sesko. Another season without a trophy. Sack Arteta. Big up Shivan Korki. Big up. He's a real one. He sees these things. By the way, on YouTube, these comments are not that bad. On TikTok, oh bloody hell, have mercy on my soul. Now, what else? Champions League money. See, Arsenal don't care. This is about we made nearly 178 million from Premier League. Arsenal don't care because trophies are beyond them. Money is better than a cheap trophy. You see what these top Gooners are saying? Money is better than a cheap trophy. So ask me this, which cheap trophy are we talking about here? A Carabao Cup, which we haven't won for 30 plus years. FA Cup, which arguably you could argue the biggest chunk of Arsenal trophies in general have been built upon. The sole foundation, to some extent, of Arsenal's big amount of trophies has been built upon that. Or Premier League, or Champions League. What are we talking about here? Money is better than a cheap trophy. So you want to tell me you much rather finish second in the league rather than win an FA Cup? Than win a Carabao Cup, do a cup double and stuff like that? I'm sorry, but success is measured by trophies. Or some people will say it's measured by progress in the league. To some extent it's true. But if you finish 3 years in a row second, and in the third year you're falling further behind than the previous 2 seasons combined from the first place, that's not even progress. That is utter and total regression. And when you look at stats, goals, and everything, it gets even worse. It genuinely gets even worse. Like, what are we doing here? Serious talk. What these top Gooners are on about? Be the case for Arsenal because they are successful at not winning trophies, dude. This hurts. Arsenal are successful at not winning the trophies. Don't worry, we soon start buying cups like you. We saving up. We don't have Russian money or oil money like you lots. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, bloody hell. You've been saving for years. Well done, Arsenal, for pretending to be a threat. Well, that is not wrong. That is actually some facts. There are some Wake Arsenal fans, I'm not gonna lie, who understand these things. I agree, I'm an Arsenal fan, and it's like they put out this information like we are supposed to be happy about it. Finishing second, 173 million, we have another war chest for the transfers, and in the end we do nothing in the transfer window. Signed Calafiori, Merino, cup-side goalkeeper in Norbert Neto, and of course Raheem Shillings on a deadline day. We won trophies. Facts. Total and utter facts. We don't care how much profit the club is making. Only people happy about the profits are the owners. Obviously, if you make profits, the club is very self-sustainable at the end of the day. But we need trophies. I don't care that Arsenal have made 173 million from Premier League, 100 million from Champions League. I want trophies. I don't care. Like, serious talk, I don't care how much money we have made. The difference between our second place in the league and the 20th place Southampton in the money they are getting is one Kai Havertz. 65 to 67 million, something like that was the difference from finishing second and finishing 20th in the league. I'm not saying I want to finish 20th in the league, first things first. I'm just saying that money is not that big of a deal. It's a big deal for Southampton. It's a very big deal for Southampton and teams like that. For Arsenal, not so much. Let's be real. With the owners we have, with billions they have, one of the richest owners you can imagine to some extent, how comes we don't have money? How comes we are not signing the best players there are available? As a matter of fact, not even signing. We don't even throw our hats into the room of signing those players. Whenever there's a talk about a big player that could be moving, how often do you hear Arsenal being mentioned? Like seriously, I'm asking you right now, how often do you hear Arsenal being mentioned in those discussions? Let's be real. We're lucky if we get mentioned once in about 50 players. If we're lucky. And 50 players, big 50 players, you know how often move? Once in about 5 to 10 windows, at best. Like massive big players. And that's the sad part in all of this, because to win the league, you need the best players. You can have a dream league, like Leicester had, for example, right? But Arsenal are not Leicester City, for fuck's sake. We are Arsenal. We need 3 main signings for the main squad, and then maybe 2 extra dilly-dalls for the bench, because some of the starters are gonna drop to the bench then if we sign the 3 big guys. We should not be living in a scenario where we dream of Leicester type of season where it's out of nowhere. Nobody expected us to win the league and all this stuff. Because let's be real, nobody expected Leicester to win the league. No argument about that. But at the end of the day, nobody expected it. Why we are living that type of situation? Why we are in that type of situation? Can someone explain me this? Why Arsenal are living in this type of situation where we are living legitimately into dreamland to some extent? We are dreaming about something that is nothing at the end of the day, which is the biggest confusion for me whatsoever. Here, this is the thing. I released a short again about the Arsenal have made 178 million. This is the comment from Patrick. From Patrick, first things first. You obviously don't understand what it means to win a trophy. This is what I get in my comments. I have seen Arsenal win trophies. In recent years, I haven't seen pretty much at all Arsenal winning trophies. But when I just became an Arsenal fan, I saw the league, I saw FA Cups, Champions League final, still hurts, but it is what it is. Semi-final against United also hurts, but it is what it is in Champions League. I have seen us winning stuff. In which universe I don't understand what it means to win trophy? I have won trophies in my life in sports competitions. It's something indescribable. And once I won it, I want to do the same next year. Because I want to prove, maybe not even to other people, but to myself, that one time wasn't just a fluke. Yes, I won it because I know my abilities and I know I'm better maybe than some other people. At the same time, I want to do it back to back. I want to be somewhat dominant in this instance because I know I'm good at it. Arsenal just want to be good at finishing second, finding excuses, and just basically printing money. That's what Kroenkes care all about. Top 4 finish, Champions League, money is coming in, new merch every other week. We have more merch than wins this season, and more merch than draws even this season. We all know how many draws we have had this season, which is utterly and totally embarrassing to say the least. After all, Arsenal have been a top 4 club since Wenger time. Not wrong. But he transformed the club. True. But he did that. And here we go. Anybody who talks about loaning Odegaard, go loan your wife to another man first before Odegaard. Okay, you are a fool and an idiot. This is one of those Odegaard lovers I tend to get in my comments. There are some players who are extra protected, just like Mikel Arteta. This fan base has this weird necessity and instinct to protect certain players and certain manager in Arteta more than the club itself, and they care more about those players than the club itself. Because ultimately, if you cared as much about the club as you cared about the player, you should be able to stand aside, look at it from a fresh and wide perspective, look at it and say, well, that's that. It's not working. We need something new. We need somebody else. We haven't signed a proper forward, by the way, in 3 goddamn years. 3 goddamn years. Havertz doesn't count, let's be real. So you could say that the last actual forward signing, and I'm not even talking about a striker, I'm talking about a forward, is Gabriel Jesus to some extent. Havertz came in as a midfielder. So what are we doing? Loaning out Odegaard. I actually want to sell Odegaard. And by the way, this is very visible, by the way, that this guy or girl, let's be inclusive, or unicorn, or binary, or whatever, has not watched the video. Because if you actually look at the thumbnail of the video, I'm going to show you it right now, right? Of the thumbnail, you can see that Odegaard is in the middle, Timber is on the left, Zinchenko is on the right, and I just wrote keep, loan, or sell. I had zero intention about talking about loaning out Odegaard. When I was doing this video, when I clipped it from a stream, I fully got Martin Odegaard as getting sold. This is how you see proof that these people don't watch the video or don't watch the stream whatsoever. Because they take one thing out of context, they take one picture out of context, and then they think of the narrative they could run just to try and spew some crap onto you, literally. And that's the sad part. Mr. Martin at Arsenal, exactly. Mr. Martin Odegaard, no-show guard, mosquito guard, pillow foot, however you want to call it, Gibraltar guard. Big up Marlon, he's been commenting a lot. How can they when Arteta is stubborn as hell? Exactly. Here we go. The Asian African is back. The one who said I'm a fool and everything. This was a YouTube short about the fact that I want Arsenal to act quickly in the market, to be proactive, to sign players before the preseason kicks off so they can adjust the system, so they can adjust to the team, so we don't start the season with still 3 players necessary for the club. And on top of that, so we basically, other teams are not ahead, because 9 times out of 10, Arsenal, of the big teams usually, are the last team that signs someone big at the end parts of the window. Let's be real. And here it is. Stubborn for what and how? Which coach would not want all his players ready? You must be one of the Ozil Aubameyang lovers. I don't know what obsession he has with Ozil and Aubameyang, but you know what? I genuinely would love to have Aubameyang at my club right now, at Arsenal. Because let's be real, only time Aubameyang didn't succeed in his career was under Mikel Arteta, you could argue. Yes, Aubameyang won him the FA Cup, but in general, Aubameyang was fantastic before Arteta. He won him the FA Cup. Then Arteta ruined Aubameyang. We let him go for free to Barcelona, where he bagged goals and won the league. Then he goes to Chelsea, and then he goes to Olympique Marseille, where he bags and carries them in the league and carries them in the Europa League and everywhere. Now he is in Saudi and bagging goals left, right, and center. And how comes Arsenal are the only team that did not make money on Aubameyang? Like, seriously. Because Borussia Dortmund did when we signed him. Barcelona did when they sold him to Chelsea. Chelsea did when they sold him to Marseille. Marseille did when they sold him to Saudis. Arsenal let him go for free. We had Golden Boot winning Aubameyang. Aubameyang who gave us FA Cup on a silver platter, let's be real. And we were the only club of all the clubs in Aubameyang's recent history, including AC Milan and all these teams, where he basically made money for the other club. Arsenal were the only team that did not win, did not get the money for him. Like, how does that make sense? How does that make any sense whatsoever? Like, seriously. Raheem Old, big up Ania, big up Marlon. What else is here? I'm gonna go through these a bit quicker, and then we're gonna get to TikTok, because TikTok is nuts. Yeah, Sane is finished. We are linked with Sane quite heavily today. I agree with you. We need trophies, so not profit. Exactly. We finished second last year in the league, right? We finished second. Okay, cool. 2 points behind Man City, right? You would think that this summer, that when we signed Calafiori and Merino, Norberto Neto, and Raheem Sterling, we would not sign these type of players. We would actually go big for a striker, winger, midfielder. How comes we've been saying these things for 3-4 years, and it's still we are saying this 3-4 years later now? 2 points off City. We finished the league. You would think we would have massive summer, but no. We had to sell to buy, and on top of that, we finished the transfer window with net profit. By the way, we genuinely finished the summer window with net profit. Which club that goes for a title finishes a season with net profit? Not season, summer window. Sorry, I'm waffling a bit about the season, but I'm meaning the summer window. Which club does that? Seriously, which club on earth does that? We were inches away from winning the league, and we go into summer expecting big things, the war chest and all that crap, and then we finish with net profits. These top Gooners need to be stopped. I'm serious. These top Gooners need to be stopped, otherwise we are not getting up. But nowhere near as finished as Shillings. Yeah, who gives a crap about merch and money? We need trophies and silver. It builds up our club history. Exactly. That makes us who we are. Arsenal are big as they are today because of the trophies. Because of the heritage of winning the trophies. That's what all this is built upon. That's why we are the third biggest club in England. Because of the trophies. Let's be real. Gyökeres and Sesko, we need both of them. Please let it be possible to get both. Big up Abigail. I hope so. It looks unlikely because as long as Havertz and Jesus are here, I don't see it happening. But please, Berta, Arteta, prove me wrong. Sign them both, sell Havertz. Imagine Arsenal and Arteta and Berta sign actually Sesko and Gyökeres and sell Havertz this summer. Imagine the scenes. Everyone would do a happy dance. Not top Gooners probably would be crying, but it's a bit different. Merch FC, Money FC, Profit FC. Exactly. And we signed some fashion models to model the merch as well. This is the big one. I talked about Max Dauman. And the fact that I'm scared about Max Dauman getting the Ranieri treatment, where he's going to get used when basically convenient for Arteta, and then he disappears and again holds the bench. You lot just talk for talking's sake. Go on Google and look how many appearances Ethan had this season. Okay, I'm not gonna go, but I can tell you from my head. Ranieri played 30-something games this season. On average, if you divide the minutes by the games he's played, overall it comes up to around 30 minutes a game, which is not bad. Half an hour for a 17-year-old playing every game on average for 30 games, it's not bad, let's be real. At the same time, let's not forget, he played a few games where he started in cups and everything. When Saka was out, he started I think 2 games. That gives us 90 minutes. So that means he can play 2 extra games of the 30 average, right? And then now, as soon as Saka comes back, he plays 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. He starts to play microwave minutes all of a sudden. Seriously. These top Gooners, they want to talk about the stats, but they talk about the stats superstitiously. Overall stat. Same goes for hamstring injuries. 24% of the hamstring injuries, of the injuries footballers are getting these days are hamstring injuries, right? Seems a lot. I'm not saying that it's not amount to quarter of injuries. However, how about the fact that only 2% or 3% are grade 3 that require surgery? How about that? And we got 3 of those this season. They are not going to tell you that. They're going to just tell you that there are 24% of hamstring injuries happening in world football right now. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Dreaming. Can I smack Patrick? Well, you could. If if you want to. You're dumb. That's nice. You are dumb. That's a very nice one, I'm not gonna lie. Big up Rich 99. Hope you're doing well today. By the way, if you haven't, go subscribe to Rich 99. I'm doing Arsenal content, fantastic one as well. And if you haven't, smash the like button already here and subscribe. Road to 600 is going strong. Dating FC match, all that Arsenal has done these past years. Exactly. Big up Gavin. Hope you're doing well. Big up Gavin. Big up Tamina. Arsenal getting both Gyökeres and the joining Arsenal. Both Gyökeres and the joining Arsenal this summer. You mean Gyökeres and Sesko? Anyways, here's Pepper's comment. Joke. Next season. Here we go. Next season we need to win. This season has been very disappointing. At least they're saying that. Oh, here we go. Asian African is back. Asian African is back. Who else thinks, this is what I said, who else thinks Arsenal must move fast this summer or risk another lost season? Let me know. This is the comment I got. Why must it be Arteta still when we have a sporting director? I'm sorry. Mikel Arteta said himself that he actually gets the final say on the signings. He was the reason we signed this cauliflower zucchini from Italy, who is flat as a pancake, and we signed Spanish something rather, Merino, who wasn't good for Newcastle, who wasn't good for, who else here he played, Borussia Dortmund, who wasn't good, who was decent enough, arguably, for Sociedad, and even then he was the third best midfielder, and now he's at Arsenal. Who, and by the way, this Spanish paella, Merino, fashion model FC, is at striker, where he has never played before, better than he's a midfielder. And he's doing better at striker than Kai Havertz. These people. Let's go get Gyökeres by all means. Big up Samuel. Big up. Let's go get Gyökeres. Gyökeres already said he cannot predict his future and he has cup final to play before anything will happen. Oh bloody hell. As if player doesn't choose where he wants to play and where he wants to go. What the fuck they're waffling about? Oh, AJ, big up AJ. I know you're in the chat, but big up AJ. He commented here as well. AFC Vigilante is here. Everyone is here. Anyways. This manager is a career killer. Facts. We talked about 8 hamstrings in this YouTube short. Absolute facts. Let's go to TikTok. That is the best place, by the way. He absolutely shit bomb Manieri who just started playing. But yeah. Gyökeres and Sesko. Yeah. I hope so. I don't see it, but I hope so. Big up AJ. Hope you're doing well today. 15 likes. Oh, 15 likes. Let's push for 20 today. Aim is 20 likes for today's stream. Big up everyone who has liked. And if you haven't already, please do me a favor and like the stream. Huge congratulations on 599. Big up. We are at 599. One away from 600. One away. Buemo Cunha walk into our attack. We are told United are finished and have no money, by the way. Don't forget that. Can't attract top players. Well, Buemo has been on the best attacking players in the league this season. 100%. And by the way, Buemo prefers Man United to Arsenal, Newcastle and Spurs. He prefers Man United to Arsenal, Newcastle and Spurs. 2 of those clubs have won trophies this season. One of them is Arsenal. That's a bit different story. But still, he prefers Man United, who are 15th in the league. Let me catch this punk. I'll be the lights. Buemo will be a United player. It's happening. Yeah, Ornstein already tweeted that could happen, actually. He would be in a great backup to Saka. To be honest, he could actually be great at left wing for Arsenal. If we actually utilize him properly, he actually could be good at left wing for us as well. Because for Brentford, it's not just he plays right wing predominantly, like Schade plays on the left and all this stuff. He actually plays all across the front 3. And it still pisses me off that last summer we didn't sign Tony, by the way. Buemo Bomba, yeah. Buemo Bomba. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go on TikTok. TikTok is a whole different breed, by the way. I kid you not. TikTok is a whole different breed when you come to think of it. You will see why in a second. TikTok is a whole different breed. This is, by the way, my best TikTok. I don't know how, but 143,000 views. Big up to everyone who has watched it, by the way, and liked and commented. We actually gonna go to that TikTok. Big up Mobaz, big up. 20 likes, big up to Yugalat, big up. 20 like has been achieved. Let's go further. It's the image. It's the image. It says, who the hell cares? I think that could be also the case. I would take Bowen. Bowen is very good. Bowen is so underrated. The thing is though, big up LB, by the way, Man City fan. LB, he brought up this fact and this interesting question. Many players that are good and amazing in smaller teams, do they have the ability and mentality to jump an extra step and become Premier League title contenders, Champions League title contenders, in terms of going to Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool? Not all of them do, because you see so many of these situations where player is the best player in the team, and as soon as he gets a move straight up to one of the big clubs, he absolutely disappears because he's not ready mentally or whatever. He is just not ready. Anyways, I'm sorry, but who the hell bloody cares? Arsenal gained nearly 178 million from the Premier League this season after finishing second. It is 3.7 million less than champions Liverpool and 6.3 more than third place Manchester City. For me, there's no big difference. Second, third, fourth, as we are in Champions League, and that is it. Who the hell cares? I'm sorry. And the best part is, this has been taken so much out of context, by the way, because people love to basically take this clip, and I did it on purpose because I wanted to see what how people are going to react. Mostly because these type of people instantly, and I kid you not, instantly will say, oh, you know nothing about football, you prefer Champions League place over a trophy. They didn't watch the whole stream where I talked about the fact that I don't give a shit about the money. I don't care if we finish second, third, fourth, we are in Champions League spot. Will win me a bloody trophy. They don't care. They are not gonna watch the stream. It's so easy to see this stuff, how they're doing things, but it worked. Going to a big club usually involves a big sacrifice. Exactly. 3 years second, same crap, mid manager, mid signings, same mid players, and this fan base is too sentimental. Who the fuck would keep Odegaard right now? Exactly. Usually they can't play their natural game. Exactly, because it's completely different system, completely different style, completely different players, and all this stuff. You need to adjust, you need to evolve, as Mikel Arteta likes to say, and everything. Anyways, let's look at comments on this TikTok, because those are a doozy. And I kid you not, those genuinely are a doozy ones. Please, why Arsenal are very slow on signing players and they could bring in Gyökeres? We need someone who can score goals. Exactly. Big up Hillary, by the way. Simon Kava. Big up. Big up, big up, big up. Why are we so slow? Like, serious question. Why are we so goddamn slow? And it's not just this window, it's every single window. And the longer we drag these deals out, the bigger our chance some other random club is gonna come in and steal the player from us. Or we're gonna negotiate so long that we're gonna piss off the other team and they're not gonna sell the player to us. Anyways, big up Hendon. Hope you're doing well today. Big up Hendon. Anyways, the comments. Look at this. This is on the money one, right? You can see on top of the screen. You can. Arsenal made 178 million, but will we see any of it for transfers? Arsenal made, and then there's description. Arsenal made from the Premier League, but are we gonna see for proper signings, or is all that gonna go in Kroenke's pocket? Let's do this. Arsenal money from Premier League and Champions League is enough to get a lethal and dangerous team for next season. They would come back very strong and win the Premier League. And to be honest, it is utter fact. We made 173 million, 178 almost million from Premier League. And we made almost 100 million from Champions League, which means we are about 250 to 260 million from all those two competitions. How much do you think we're gonna see that in this transfer window? How much is going into Kroenke's packet for that? Just wait for it's the Club World Cup and we can't sign players because of it. Dude, don't even. Don't start already. Don't give them ammunition for excuses. For big up, why not? Hope you're doing well. Big up, why not? They have stopped being delusional. Alright, accept their faith. Yeah. Wait, United got paid? United... Wait, sorry. Wrong one. United got 140 million, yeah. Bro, history is richer than the money. That's why Arsenal don't care about the history and people will only remember Liverpool, not the money won by Arsenal. And that is utter and total facts. Nobody cares how much money Arsenal made this season. Liverpool won the league. Nobody cares how much Arsenal made from Champions League. PSG just won it. Nobody cares. Arsenal made 5 million from the FA Cup. Nobody cares. Crystal Palace won it. Like, come on, what are we doing there? Yeah, these comments so far are not that bad, I know. Our Leipzig or Sociedad in the Club World Cup shouldn't affect our business, exactly. None of these teams are in Club World Cup we want to sign the players from. Everything should be compared to Arsenal-ish. There's a reason why teams like Crystal Palace are just staying mid-table. Crystal Palace got how much? 140 million. It's all about reputation. It's trophies that count and not the money. Exactly, some people are speaking facts. They hear maybe for the fans, but for owners nothing in their pants. And to be honest, he's not wrong. To the fans and not to the owners, they are not spending 100 million on a striker just to make 4 million more than they are earning at the end of the day. It's a business to the owners. We are gonna spend 100 million on Gyökeres, on Sesko potentially. And that's why you are without trophies for years. These people are speaking facts, meaning Chelsea with their Interclasses Cup are nowhere. See? First things first. Meaning, what does that mean? Chelsea with their cup is nowhere. This is why exactly our board doesn't want to buy players. Everyone cares. Nobody remembers who finished second, exactly. Every fan cares. I can feel your pain, bro. As a fan, it doesn't matter how much they've made. What matters to us is victory of your team. Exactly. People will remember the champions Liverpool, not Arsenal amount. Exactly. Arsenal mentality. It's funny how they wonder why they can't win titles. Facts. Like, oh, this is one of the big ones. When I say who cares, why talk about it then? Focus on other things. Why should I focus on other things if it evolves around my club? If the money we made is more important in the PR department than a new signing, for example. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Here we go. If the club wants, for example, Sesko, Nico Williams, for God's sakes, if they want to sign another Socrates Papastatopoulos, sign them. However, sign them before the goddamn preseason begins. So we can go into preseason with nearly maybe -1 player signed, so they are ready for the season. Because if the season starts and we still haven't signed the necessary players, we are already starting season 1 step behind and other teams are ahead. Fact. Empty set only talk. Arsenal is just business club. After the striker, there's no one to replace or Odegaard. It's gonna be another headache. I'm beginning to think Arteta is the biggest problem at Arsenal. You're just starting to think this right now? I'm sorry, what? Arsenal are not ready to win anything. When they are ready, the world will know. This is some next level copium, by the way. When Arsenal are ready to win something, the world will know. We've been ready to win stuff. Bloody hell, when have we been ready to win stuff? Freaking hell. Arguably last year or year before, and we still managed to ball this. Oh, here we go. This is not FIFA. You can't just do what you want. Things take time. Stay calm. I've been fucking calm for 21 years without Premier League, you know? 21 years without Premier League, 30 plus without Carabao Cup, no Champions League, and 5 years without FA Cup. Every single window we drag deals out for 10 years longer than it should be dragged. What the hell are we talking about here? Serious talk. Yes, they have started a long time ago talking about signing up 2 now until we end up only. I hope so. I hope we sign 2 and Havertz gets sold. Big up Jackson. What is going on at Arsenal camp? They're good at sporting good players, but at least other teams take their sport. No business. By the way, anyone seen Zubimendi yet? Nope, I haven't seen Zubimendi whatsoever. Anyone seen Zubimendi? Big up E-Ross. Big up. Spurs are attracting players too. Yeah, everyone's attracting players. Arsenal, unfortunately, is only repelling players. Can't speak. Robbery of blank. Wait, what? Where's my C4? I'm sorry. Why do you think I'm blowing up? What's happening? Like, serious talk. What is happening? I'm seeing Arteta from another angle. What? From what angle? Are you sitting outside his house with a telescope and box of donuts or something like that? Oh, he's rude. Okay, never mind. Sign Gyökeres, simple. Why is Arteta overcomplicating things? Well, that's $1 million question. $15 million question. We need about 5 players. Facts. Facts, Bargav. We need 5 players at least. Arsenal is the most unserious club. Berta won this, Mikel won that. The fuck is wrong with our manager? Tell them loud. Arteta doesn't have the technical eye to sign quality players. See? There are so many good comments, and then there is one random one that really pisses me off to my core usually. To avoid another Sterling, you're right. I don't think there's anyone at the who doesn't know this. It's not rocket science. But transfers aren't that simple. This isn't FIFA. I swear, every time I talk about transfers, top Gooners, this isn't FIFA. You cannot sign a player in a week. You cannot sign player this long. How comes you can sign player on a deadline day in few hours? How comes you can sign in the last week of the transfer market, 2-3 players teams can sign? Yet when you have 2 months to sign the necessary players, the deal gets dragged out for a month. I'm talking about Arsenal here. Took us a month and a half to sign this Italian zucchini cauliflower, wet piece of paper, who gets injured half the time. And Merino, last year of his deal, month. Bring both Sesko and Gyökeres. To be honest, people called it a week ago. Arteta and the owners are stubborn, but what's wrong with Arsenal with delays and over bargaining? Exactly. If Mikel Merino's stats are Real Sociedad were that bad and as turned out as false center forward by Arteta and player better than Havertz, did now imagine with what Sesko would do if we get the right wingers. Here we go, Sesko. Personally, I'd go for Sesko and Gyökeres. See, people want 4-4-2, 4-2-4. They want attacking formations as well. I have been Arsenal fan for 36 years. People look at the team's success based on lack of trophies but forget the business element, which the owners view as successful by maintaining top 4. Exactly. Don't support Arsenal with great passion for the sake of your psychological health. To be honest, he's not wrong, I'm not gonna lie. Arteta is a clown. Arteta should not think that Arsenal is not Wenger era. Don't play safe. Kill it. Arsenal at one powerhouse now in Europe. They just can't sign anyone with their budget. Now Gyökeres, Sesko signed both of them. See, people are not that bad. People are saying some good stuff here. Max Dauman. Max Dauman. What? Why are you talking about Max Dauman when he's 20? Odegaard will be 30. That 10 position will become on, man. Why am I talking about that? Because I've seen the treatment of Manieri. I'm scared for Max Dauman with my life, arguably. Like, people don't take things into context, right? Or is it just me? Saliba injured. Fringe players are only bought it when the first team player is injured. We don't even have fringe players, by the way. Here we go. Thierry Henry. This should be fun. Fan backlash basically sickens me to my core. Hire Ten Hag then, you delusional Arsenal fans. You forget so fast where the club was just a few years ago. Entitlement for what? Earn it. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, serious talk. What are we talking about here? If the club wants... let's see if there's anything else quite interesting. It wasn't even title race this season. What else is here? What else is here? Josh Kroenke. Kroenke isn't the state of Qatar though, is he? They are a bit different. PSG owner is a football fan, but Kroenke isn't. That's the difference. No time for talking, dude. Arsenal must buy a striker. See, people know this stuff. It is actually nuts how some people are so blind to many things, and then some people are woke as hell on certain things. It is actually kind of nuts. And then you have the fights within the fan base. There's money to sign world-class players. If they use that money, then the season we can win trophies. Exactly. But the thing is, if we don't, then there is no excuses. What's gonna be excuse if we sign the best players? And that's it. What we gonna do then? We sign the best players, and all of a sudden we also fail. I wanna see the excuses then. He ruined Emirates' home record, and this fan base always this. Agree wages, agree transfer fee. 1 more week to finalize contract. How hard? Like, that is the biggest thing. Like, you can sign a player within a week when there's 1 week left in the transfer window, or on a deadline day. You can even hand in a paper with a few hour extension. But when you have 2 months, nada. I swear, transfer window should be genuinely 1 month long at best. You would see so much business done so quickly. There would be so much chaos, which actually would be kind of exciting during summer. Now we are gonna sit here for 2 months and just talk about daily Sesko, daily Gyökeres, daily Zubimendi, daily Leao, daily somewhat rather, daily Reo Miyachi, daily Awar, Draxler, I don't know, Julian Brandt, and then we're gonna talk about daily Emi Martinez, daily Mustafi, Paulista Gabriel, and all this stuff. United and 2 bombers 2 days in, while top Gooners are screaming themselves over Sesko and Zubimendi talks. We are a joke. Big up Darren, we are a joke. AI now available, shouldn't take months. Bro, talking exactly, he was. Serious teams make moves already. Absolute facts. PSG win Champions League and treble. People care about that. Exactly. And PSG's owner came out and said, I want to win the Club World Cup and the Champions League next year as well. We need about 5-6 players at least, yeah. Is it true that Mbeumo to Man United? I don't know if it's a here we go, but I can quickly look for you. I'm gonna check Ornstein because he broke the news. Here we go. This is the latest news on him, from what I gather, at least. These are the latest news from what I gather about him. That there are interest, there are talks, and it might happen. And he apparently wants to go to United over Arsenal, Newcastle, and Spurs. That's how bad it is. At the end of the day, Chelsea won Conference League with a very young squad. PSG, by the way, PSG team, average squad age 24.8 years old. That's the average squad age. 24.8 years old. PSG squad. Oh, but we have youngest squad in the league. They need experience. Buy a proper manager and maybe then you can win stuff. United finished 15th. Them man over there signing ballers left, right. Cunha, Mbeumo, both those walking. Yeah, they walk pretty much. Yeah, based on our attack, that's not that hard to do so. But yeah, I think on that note we're gonna end today's stream. There were some very top Goonerish comments. There were some lots of fact-speaking comments. I'm not gonna lie. I need to basically go through all the comments and just take out top Gooner comments. Like, genuinely, just cut them out and then do it a separate stream, because that would be kind of fun. Because you can see that there are people who agree with us. They are not as much on social media, hence why it seems like we are only a massive minority. Big up DJB, by the way. I think it was DJB or Shane Gooner. I think it was Shane Gooner's stream today. Big up Shane Gooner. He showed that only 3% of Arsenal's fan base from the survey were dissatisfied with this season. 3%. 40+% were very satisfied, and 53 or 54% overall were happy with this season. We are doomed. Let's be real, we are doomed. But anyways, I think on that note I'm gonna end today's stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling fantastic. One more sub. If you haven't sub, please help Rob out. Big up Eras. Plugging and everything. One more and we hit the 600. Good players don't want to play for fraud. That, yeah, they actually understand football. Buemo would rather forego your. To be honest, he in United he would play a similar system as they play under Thomas Frank, because he also plays 3 at the back. So that kind of would help him out, I think. Man United getting Cunha, Buemo, Mazzetto, Arsenal finish second. There's times to have money, merch, and fashion. Basically, yeah. But yeah, on that note, if you haven't already, smash the like. Subscribe if you haven't already. We are almost there on 600. Leave your thoughts down in comments below if you're watching this as a playback. Hope you had a great time. I had some fun. I'm not gonna lie. There was lots of people who agree with us, and there are also people who disagree with us. I got called dumb as fuck and got called a moron, go support Spurs and all this stuff. Arteta is the best thing since sliced bread and everything. There are lots of people. There are different comments. I couldn't go through all of them because that would be genuinely about 10-hour stream. If I could, I would, but I can't, unfortunately. But yeah, for today, I'm gonna be signing out. Big up Mubarak, big up Hendon, Eras, Marlon, big up Boyton, big up... Oh my goodness, you were so many here. I cannot even say thank you to you all. Big up Bargav, big up Darren, big up Boyton, as I said. Big up Why Not, big up Hillary, big up Rich, big up AJ, big up everyone who joined, big up Tamina, Gavin, Abigail, big up to all of you. You are fantastic, you are phenomenal. We have hit 600, oh my goodness, big up to you all. 600 people going strong. Road to 1k begins, big up. Road to 1k begins. The aim is 1k before the 25-26 season kicks off. You're getting popular. Based on comments, I'm getting more and more hate comments. I kind of looks that way, doesn't it? But yeah, big up everyone. Big up to everyone. Big up for 600. Have a great evening. See you all tomorrow with transfer news. Hopefully Arsenal will announce someone. At least someone. Maybe not new dog or something like that, or new merch, but maybe a new signing. We'll see. Maybe there will be some concrete here we go or something like that. But big up to everyone. Big up Darren, Hendon. Big up you all. You have been fantastic today. Have a nice evening, have a nice day tomorrow, and see you very, very, very soon.